What is going down, everyone? It's time for Mojobreak.com, The Hype, episode 376. Hey, we're starting a little earlier in the week. Hopefully you guys are catching this before some of the big releases this week. We've got a lot to talk about. CT scanners. Topps has a new policy. Topps Transcendent is out this week. Maybe you can get a pass and go to a very cool party. And, of course, Jayden Daniels lighting the hobby by storm based on his performance this weekend. Which nobody thought that the Lions would be bounced out of the playoffs. And TikTok is back. It's back, baby. Did you miss it? Dan, did you miss TikTok?
Saturday night, I think around 7:30 Pacific time, my soul was crushed. I went on the TikTok, and it was gone. It was gone. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was like, how am I going to survive and go further in my life? I don't know. And then I woke up in the morning, and it was back. Just like that.
Baby,
Yay.
come back.
Whatever. TikTok's kind of fun. I don't post anything, but I like scrolling through it.
Yeah, I'm not a huge TikTok guy. I usually watch my reels on X or Facebook or Instagram.
I got to say, the algorithm, it really gets into my brain because, there's certain things that I do follow, like stand-up comedians, right?
Yeah.
And you watch one stand-up comedian, and it just, that's what you're into now, period.
Yeah.
And it will just feed it to you.
And before we go any further, guys, big week of new releases. We have a special code for Mojobreak.com. Use code BREAK10 for 10% off of either one to get into Bowman's Best, maybe Topps Transcendent. We've got lots of NBA stuff on the site already. Join C-Rad, Griffin, and Young Greg over on YouTube. Watch Breaks Live. They've been doing that for over 15 years on Mojobreak.com. Use code BREAK10. Can expire at any time. 10% off of anything that you buy to get into breaks. But, yeah, TikTok is back, and we'll see what that means.
Have you ever bought anything on TikTok Shop?
No.
Me either.
No.
Nope.
How about you, Cody? No?
No. Is this a bad thing to admit as someone who handles social media? I don't want to say I don't know what I'm doing on TikTok. I'm very well aware of what I'm doing on TikTok.
Oh, you're a master. You're a master of TikTok.
I get what happens. I can do all the dances.
You just
though,
you don't digest it outside of work.
I don't personally have a TikTok.
Yeah.
No.
I
don't.
But
it was kind of a decision. I looked at it and it went, no, I'm too old for this. I can't.
You're too old.
That's usually my line, but I'm sitting there just
what
like,
I felt like
woo, swiping up.
I get it, but look, I'm not going to hate on anybody who is older than me on it. That's fine. You live your life, do what you want. I thought, I don't know. I think
the algorithm, the For You page is basically the algorithm, right?
Yes.
Like when you Spencer Pratt,
Well, that's
now it's on my For You.
X has the For You, and then the following.
they do too. Instagram essentially, even though it will be here's a few of your follow. I got to say this too. Instagram has gotten crazy where it's there's a few of my people I follow, first 2 or 3, and then I'm just scrolling, and it's all who are these? What is this? I don't follow any of these people. I don't follow
these
any
aren't
of these
for
accounts.
me. These aren't for me.
And then I miss the stuff where it's hey, did you hear, this person had a baby? It's well, no, I didn't see it, even though this happened 10 months ago. What the hell? I would have liked to know.
I sometimes have to clear my algorithm because sometimes, maybe a nice-looking lady might come up on the page.
How do you clear it?
And I might watch it for a minute, then it's the next time I'm on there, then it
how do you
gets
clear
a little
it?
bit.
It's all nice-looking ladies.
Yeah. So
how do you clear your algorithm?
Keep searching something else.
Yeah, that's
okay.
what it is.
Because the other day I was going to show somebody something on Instagram, and then it comes up, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of embarrassing. I looked at one lady, and I got a bunch of ladies on there, right?
I didn't look at that.
There's a good.
I didn't. No, I don't even know where that came from. They must really be paying those ads just to. Yeah.
There's a very funny SNL sketch, I think from a year ago, where they do the whole it's 3 guys sitting with their girlfriends, and they're oh, let's see all your For You pages. Oh, no, don't look at it. But it's not it's not a bunch of girls. It's something just absolutely bizarre. It's I won't reveal it. It's very funny.
That's funny. Yeah, I always okay, let's look at Pokemon and more cards. I got to get that out of the algorithm because yeah. So I'm sure people can agree with me on that.
Social media, baby.
What they call that, a thirst trap? I think that's what I fell into.
It's making the world go around.
Now I'm part of the Thirst Trap Anonymous. I visit.
It actually
every Monday.
It's also funny though, because even if you see something and you scroll and you not scroll fast enough, I think that goes in the algorithm too. That's we're going to feed you. We're going to feed you more of that because instead of scrolling in 1 second, it took you 4 seconds. So you must have. You're like, well, I was just trying to adjust my eyes and figure out what I was looking at, but it doesn't matter.
During Christmas time, I got a family, someone in my family, a like bird feeder that like you can watch the bird with a little camera. I was like, oh, what a great gift for people who love little bird feeders and stuff. So I was like, I kind of looked at it for a bit and like,
now you're part of the bird
idea.
community.
And I swear to God,
Now you're a
next
bird watcher.
day, every ad on Instagram was bird feeder, bird feeder, bird feeder. Like, whoa, I don't like it that much. Jeez.
Yeah,
the thought crossed my mind to maybe buy one for a gift, but now everybody's getting one.
Now I'm a bird watcher.
Well, we got to get into this CT scanner thing, and I know it's been a topic that we've discussed, and it's been, on prior episodes here. But Topps now has in their dealer agreement for their shops to the intrusive device policy. So for any shop in latest terms of agreement for customers and businesses with Topps direct accounts, Topps has specifically cited the practice of using a CT scanner to attempt to see what's inside of their sealed products. Weighing boxes and packs also mentioned that all shops have to sign off on that. So obviously the manufacturer is very aware of the issues. My question is, hey, what are you going to do to stop? Like, what are you going to do to protect these as a manufacturer as well? I think we need to know that part as well. Especially these products like the Wembenyama, Topps Mercury, where
Can't you put like some aluminum foil in the boxes to like block whatever it's searching for?
all I know is
I don't know, or maybe something that would just like if you put aluminum foil in your microwave gets all jacked up, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you do that with a CT scanner? You put something in there that's not supposed to be scanned, and then your whole CT scanner just doesn't work anymore.
Or better yet, when you get some x-rays on the mouth.
Probably some people out there are like, do not do that.
When you get some x-rays on your mouth, they put that big blue thing on you, right? That big weighted blue thing. I know we can't put those in boxes.
I think it's a lead vest.
Yes. So why can't we have little pieces of lead to block that out?
I think we're trying to remove lead.
Or something that's more environmentally
I think we're trying to do.
efficient.
I think we're trying to do less lead.
Okay. Well, you know what I mean.
Less lead.
There's got to be ways to stop this. But anyways, yeah. So, I mean, CT scanners are, becoming more and more prevalent. It seems like from what I've heard, honestly, we don't have one. Never need one. We're completely transparent and honest on what we do. You can see that with our hits, but there might be some shops, there might be some breakers that do have these things. And, it's obviously an unfair advantage to know what's in the box, especially when doing breaks, when doing auctions. Customers don't ever get a chance at any of these case hits. And if they do, they're already planned out. So it's obviously a growing issue that Topps has included in their terms and conditions for shops. Was it on the breaker agreement as well, or was it just in the shop?
We have not got an updated breaker agreement. That was just for the shop.
But it'll probably be on there.
It'll probably be on there. I mean, Topps pays a lot of money to lawyers to draw this stuff up. I remember at the last industry conference, they were hiring a third-party auditing company to go through and try to figure out these pack odds and what are the chances of people pulling certain cards out of opening up, how many boxes they would have to open up in the run. And they were also doing it for quality control for their pack out process internally. Less than a year later, we get a new dealer agreement, and specifically there are CT scanners and terminology in that agreement, which makes me think that third party came back and was like, the odds basically state that somebody is scanning these, or they have to be scanning them. So you guys need to focus on this.
Yeah, and I mean, to be devil's advocate for the ones that are maybe using CT scanners, which I wouldn't know who would be, but those that are, how do they police this? I mean, they're not going to make uninvited, appointments. They're not going to just, appointment is a time, but they're not going to just show up and be like, we need to look around your shop, or we need to, because
you put something in there that destroys your CT scanner. Again, the little, they have the little magnetic things that go off and target. If you like, they go through the little detector
an
thing.
ink tag or something.
Yeah,
it blows up.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't want it to blow up your CT scanner. I'm not trying.
Like
I don't
puts
want
ink all over the cards.
or Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what it
there
is.
has to be something that goes in there. If you had a
Dude,
a CT scanner manual, it would probably be like, do not scan this item, metal, whatever it is. It will jack up your CT scanner.
Dude, that would be genius if they could pull it. If there was something that, like, right, the cards went through the CT scanner, and then they don't see it, and it's like maybe it activates like 10 minutes later, right, and it just like throws ink all over the cards. So then the breaker's going to break it live on camera. And then they're just going to have black ink all over the cards. Well, we don't know what happened. We don't know what happened, right? Like,
but they would just be like, well, somebody must have CT scanned it before it got to us.
I mean,
Jeez, yeah.
I'm just looking right now at things to prepare for a CT scan and metal objects. Remove all metal objects. They should be removed. I don't know if that's
Again,
just
I'm
so
not
you could see
I'm
it.
not a doctor, but
Right.
I really feel that like metal isn't good in anything.
No. Yeah, it says remove all metal. This has come from Yukon Health. This is just saying preparing for your CT scan. I don't know if that means they just because they want to get a better read on everything, or if there is an actual health risk of like if you have metal on you during the CT scan, you're in trouble. But also, there's a lot of these boxes that are being, scanned in here that we've heard about potentially.
Well,
there's
I mean,
metal in
but
there. We
yeah,
know
well,
there's metal pieces and stuff like that on some of these boxes.
Well,
and stuff.
flawless.
Right.
The briefcase
Right.
itself is.
So that can't be that.
I can't put the. I don't think it would work out well if I took the flawless briefcase and I put that in my microwave. I don't think
No.
it would end well for the microwave.
I mean, another question, I guess another
Don't
thing.
microwave your
So
flowers.
if you do get caught, you will receive a lifetime ban from the company.
But how are you going to get caught?
Well, that's my question.
The only way you're getting caught is if somebody is basically catches wind that you're using it. Maybe they are at your shop and they see in the back, what's that big old thing back there? It could be somebody who works at the shop. Basically, is a whistleblower.
Because now this
and
is
goes,
the-
I can't keep working for this place. They're using CT scanners. They're scamming people. That's what it would take.
What a CT scanner and an MRI machine are these one and the same?
I don't.
And
know.
has anybody ever had a CT scan
I am
or an MRI? I have. I believe whatever the thing that you just showed me right there. I've done that before.
Yeah, it's
If I'm also not, that thing's huge. That thing
they are
is
essentially one and the same.
physically big, and I do believe it makes a lot of sound.
Not sure. Not a
No,
guy.
I'm pretty sure it has like a rotating.
They're very similar. I shouldn't have said they're one and the same. I know. So sorry if anyone's screaming and going, they're not one and the same.
We don't.
Look,
Wait,
I'm not a
we-
doctor.
no,
I don't
we
play
don't
one
know.
on- I only play one on
There
television.
is. I will tell you right now, and it's going to blow people away. There's 0 PhDs in this on this podcast right now. There's 0.
Hard to believe, I know.
Hard to believe. I know your jaw just dropped right there. You're like, no way. These guys, have you heard them? They're amazing.
I mean, I play a genius on TV, but definitely not a genius by the books.
Okay, here we go. This again comes from what is this? What am I even looking at? Is this this is a medical website. It looks like the Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center defines this. A CT scan uses X-rays to create detailed pictures of organs, bones, and other tissues. Person lies on a table, moves through a scanning ring, which looks like a large donut. MRI also creates detailed pictures of areas inside the body, but it uses radio waves and a powerful magnet to generate the picture. So there you go.
Okay.
That's the main thing.
But here's
You're
also
doing
my
X-rays
question.
versus
Here's also
X-rays.
my point too, because this is just how my mind thinks. Let's compare this to, like, okay, your local police is like, we're gonna hit all the crack houses in like 3 weeks. So if you got crack, you're gonna have to hide it.
oh, so
right?
they put out a report.
Well,
They
but
let
they're
everybody- let-
letting people know.
You got to
so,
let the community know.
but what I'm saying is any of these guys that are doing it, they're gonna be like, okay, well, I'll just bring this to my house now. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna hide the crack.
They're gonna take the CT scanner out the operation,
It's
and
big.
put it,
It's big.
or they're gonna have a locked door. They're gonna take, they're gonna put it off site.
I know. They'll just get a big blanket and just drape it over it, and they're like, no CT scanner here.
Rather than just kind of showing up to some of the maybe the ones that they think are doing it and looking around, like, hey, can we check out the backup? What's in that room? Like, can we take a look at your operation?
The only way they have to show up unannounced.
right?
We're here.
But now you just gave people a chance to, what I'm saying is, move their shady business off site or somewhere else.
All right. We've been doing this a long time, and there's always like, anytime a story like this comes out, people jump to conclusions and are like, everybody must be doing it.
Yeah, and
everybody.
that's actually what the question is how many, what's your percentage?
That's what I was, dude. I didn't even look at this.
Look at that.
This is how in sync we are. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, truly, how many operations do you think are using CT scanners? I'm gonna say less than 5%.
That's about the number
I was gonna say 5%.
But you go online and you think it'd be like opposite day. It's like 95% doing it. Now 5% doing it, not okay.
No, of course not.
Not okay. Not saying it like, but I would prefer. I like the idea that 95% are not doing it. 5% are.
Right. I think that at the peak of this story back in late summer last year, early fall, I think there are some people who would have told you honestly 60%, 70% are doing it, which is again because everybody they get this big conspiracy that's all that everyone's against you and everyone's got the loaded boxes and whatever it might be, blah blah blah. But again, just logistically, just think of it. They're massive, they're not cheap. And I don't remember, we were just talking off air. They aren't that easy to use.
I was going to say, I'm like the learning curve to be able to master how to use a CT scanner for the purpose that you're using it for.
Right.
Where this is not what it's intended to use for.
Now,
so it's
what's at
probably
the
gonna
airport? Is that a CT scanner?
That would be a standard X-ray. Oh gosh.
No, I see the pictures that go through when I'm in there. They get not super detailed.
No,
but I also think that
Pretty
they're not
detailed,
they're not trying to.
Yeah. They just want to see obviously harmful materials.
But yeah, again, like
that's just X-ray though, right? That's just an X-ray.
X-ray,
the time and effort to learn how to use a CT scanner for this purpose. I can't even get the clock on my Keurig to set correctly. So like I got to figure that like the learning curve to somebody who doesn't know how to use it, somebody who there's obviously schools and technicians and stuff like that you learn how. I don't know if people are hiring like CT technicians to work at a sports card shop.
There might be a few ads out in Florida. There might be, but that's purely speculation. But it's I've talked to a few people when this first came out, and they say like maybe like a product like Flawless, and for those like that we didn't mention this at the beginning, a CT scanner is to see what cards are in a sealed box. By the way, so just to kind of put that more in
or even a pack, right?
Right,
a pack box,
right.
But when you're dealing with like a product like say Prism or National Treasures, where there's multiple cards in there. I heard what it takes to even get an image is to find the right angle, and then you're going to have to digitally superimpose things. It's not like you could just run through like 10 cases in an hour and be like, that's the case that has the logo man in it. It's a lot of work to do it. So, yeah, unless you have somebody that's like trained to do it and you have the wherewithal and the money to like have one of these things, I can't imagine there are something. It's probably similar to a printer too, where it needs to be like maintained, right? It's not just you just can't use it for 10 years and it runs at the same pace,
it's called
right?
Like you gotta do collaborate or not collaboration, but calibrate. You have to calibrate it. That's the word I was looking for. Calibrate.
Yeah, I mean, look, it should be a red flag if you are looking up maybe job listings for breakers wherever, and in like qualifications it says medical experience is a plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CT scanner technician.
Experience
plus.
with high-grade medical equipment.
So
Big
weird.
plus. Like,
that's
what?
weird.
Also, sports knowledge. Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah.
Also, imagine trying to will one of these things into like Walmart or Target. You're just like
Pretty wild. That'd be good. That'd be a funny video.
it would be pretty funny. It's like, oh, I got something I got to bring in. You're just got like a pallet.
A pallet of
It's like
CT.
five
pallet of
guys.
CT. You're all,
I guess really what it comes down to is how big of a problem is this? I don't know. Probably not that big in the grand scheme of things, but big enough. That Topps feels like they have to address it in a legally binding contract.
yes. Big enough.
Yeah.
Big enough.
Big enough to the point where I think they know that it exists and that there's somebody out there doing it.
CT scanner also is the thing that pops more and it gets more like that's a crazier thing to talk about. But really, the bigger thing is the weighing of packs, weighing of boxes, and stuff like that. Which I guess that's a tale as
Well,
old as time,
that's in there as well,
right?
So
exactly. That to me is
so I know
far more
we jumped to the CT scanner, but in that same paragraph, it also mentioned weighing and resealing, which
is a lot more easier to do. You just need a $10 scale.
Yeah.
If there's something you want to like, I guess that would be like if you actually want a legitimate reason to worry. I guess here, that to me is one where anybody can just buy it,
Like
scale it.
for example, Luminaries. They did not put redemptions for those big books in Luminaries. So Luminaries is a one card product, right? So if you were to weigh all your Luminaries boxes, those Hit King books that have like 25 autos on them, obviously would be a significant difference.
It's the same thing with triple threads.
Triple threads as well.
Triple threads, like the books. I mean, we've been ripping triple threads long enough to where you could fill just the box itself, and not even like back in the day, like the mini boxes. Like you would go like that. That's definitely got
museum
a book
too.
in it.
Museum with the metal.
Museum with the metal card. Like this is something that's you don't even need a scale to figure it out. You can just literally what's impeccable.
Yes.
With
usually they try to put some dummy cards in the other ones, but
you could
tell.
The difference between like a stack of 4 dummy cards and a giant thick card that has a metal piece in it. Big difference.
At least with those, like a lot of the metal cards are kind of worthless. At least now that they've made more of them. But like, triple threads is a concern. Luminaries is a concern. These products that have these big, massive books, there's gonna be a significant weight difference.
Probably even like NT to an extent as well.
Right, but there's just books for everything in there, which you could get an invaluable book, right? So definitely weigh in on what your thoughts are on that, guys. We got a big week of new releases. Obviously, we'll get into some Transcendent talk with the new format, the VIPs, the cut autos. But I wanted to hit on Finest. Basketball's been a little tough for Fanatics at the moment without the license. And, one of the products that's kind of readily available through the distributor networks are your basketball products through Fanatics. So Finest comes back, and we're chasing Wemby again, which Wemby's off to a good season. But how is the basketball market going to take this without the license? Is this going to be a home run? I think we got some Kevin Durant autos in there. Is LeBron in there?
Didn't they make a Finest product like a year or two ago?
They did that one with like old.
But it was like retired players. It was like
stuff.
like Gary Payton. And like, but it had like the Finest design.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Without the license, it's going to be tough. But I still believe that there's value in it. I think Cosmic Chrome Basketball
is better than expected.
Has value in it. And it actually stayed at a good price. I think it's still at a pretty good price. There's a lot of speculation in Chrome Basketball when it came out, and that kind of skyrocketed, and then there was only really one way for it to go, and it went down.
But that's the Wemby you're going to want.
But
autograph.
I mean, it was up for a hobby box. It was north of $500 at one point.
Yeah, it definitely kind of dropped down. So we'll see. I'm hopeful for Finest. I'm a big fan of Finest Baseball. And these are just kind of prelogs to what's going to come when they do have the license in September for basketball.
I mean, there's still, we've been ripping non-licensed Panini stuff, baseball, for a long time. And there's value in it. You just gotta temper your expectations on the secondary market.
For just looking at the auto checklist, LeBron has one autograph subject card. I think it's called in the Masters Autos.
Okay,
he's in there. But it's a lot of the same names where you go, man, it's a lot of good names in there. Obviously, a lot of Wemby, a lot of throwback guys as well, all the big rookies. But it is also getting to that point where it does feel like we are in the longest rookie class of all time once again.
Well, also, and you probably don't have any numbering on those LeBron.
There is numbering. Yeah, it's
20, 25?
99 and lower.
Oh,
is
okay.
actually what we're looking at. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Also, I mean, how do we feel about
Oh no, a little higher than that.
how
But
do we feel about LeBron essentially being in everything that's been coming out?
I mean, that's yeah. I mean, we're well,
Are we-
another
are we-
product to that Goodwin that used to be that that you can get LeBron, and no longer the case.
But do we feel that we're going, if we keep on putting LeBron autos out there, it's going to kind of saturate the market a little bit?
I guess a little, but at the same time, I know there have been a few redemptions that we have pulled, but I still feel like it's uncommon enough, it's rare enough where it still feels significant when you get that LeBron auto. They're all. They are still unlicensed.
It's still unlicensed, yeah.
It feels like in a couple of years when finally we can get a licensed LeBron James autograph in however, I guess at the end of this year we'll have the chance to do that. Then that's still going to carry a ton of weight to finally
I think
again we're going to get
October?
it.
I mean, are we literally going to see a Topps licensed product before the end of the year?
We should. I believe we should see one. 24, 25 products, right? Should be. Well, no, am I wrong? We always.
And in talking about basketball,
25,
I think it was also announced Cooper Flag is a Fanatics exclusive.
Yes, which we all see the writing on the wall there. I mean, what's Panini going to do with them next year anyway? So
yeah.
Also, I wanted to mention Goodwin comes out, which we love Goodwin around here. We do a lot of Goodwin champions. And there isn't any LeBron cards, but there is some Jordan autographs. So Jordan
is in there.
Jordan
Okay.
has 10 exquisite kicks autos. And I think he's on I think I counted about a total of 25 to 30 Jordan autos in Goodwin.
But no LeBron.
No LeBron, which obvious he's now with Fanatics.
Just wanted to make sure.
Well, that's significant because I feel like there have been a few products where we're like, well, Jordan would usually be in this, and he wasn't. At least maybe one or two upper deck things where he was absent from it. So
Jordan loves signing.
that's the other thing. Yeah, he doesn't like to sign that often.
But the autographs in here are very interesting. So you go through like if you're not familiar with Goodwin, they use some of the popular designs like Exquisite, Skybox, Gaudy. They have a bunch of like that. They even use Young Guns for the other sports. But like I'm looking at the Exquisite Collection rookie autographs checklist. Alex Mooney from baseball. It says baseball. Alyssa Thompson, soccer. Anna Lee Waters, pickleball. Bobby Finke, swimming. Caroline Marks, surfing. Mookie Cook, basketball. Dylan Gabriel. I know Dylan Gabriel. I've heard that name. Giselle Thompson. Leo Dallas DeVries from baseball. That's
There's
Leo.
Leo. Okay.
Trinity Rodman from soccer. Tommy Troy from baseball.
Oh, Trinity Rodman. That's I believe that is Dennis Rodman's
It is.
daughter.
That is.
Okay, so she's in there for soccer. They have autos of De'Aaron Fox. They have
Who's now an exclusive
Is he?
auto. I believe
That's
his
right.
autos are now exclusive to Upper Deck.
Nick Kurtz has an auto in there for baseball.
Okay.
I mean, Bryce Young has an auto. I don't know how, but he does. Bryce Young has a football auto. Maybe they held on to it.
Looking at this checklist, De'Aaron Fox is essentially taking the LeBron because everything that's got a Jordan auto is also De'Aaron Fox, and that's it. Like he is basically filling the LeBron void for them. So good basketball player.
Yeah, same thing, right?
Not quite LeBron James, but a very good basketball
Fox,
player. Same guy.
So yeah, we'll see how that one does. But moving on to Transcendence, we speculated in past. If you're not familiar with Transcendent, it's usually a 30K, 25 to 30K product with like a ton of autos, guaranteed passes to the party. This year the passes are not guaranteed. It looks like they're making about 250 to 300 cases, which is about 200 more than they normally make. So it's going to be a little bit more random. We're looking at 4 Chrome packs with 8 cards per. And then I think you're averaging around 8 autographs, whether that be a cut auto, whether that be a patch auto. So a little bit different format and a much cheaper price point. We actually have a case already posted on Fanatics Live by player. Cuts are always pretty fun in the set. They're going to have a Heath Ledger cut, Abraham Lincoln, John Lennon, Jackie Robinson, Robert Oppenheimer. There's a Roger Maris, Mickey Mantle dual cuts. And my favorite, which probably won't be the big draw to it, but it's one of those big quad ones, Norm Macdonald, Robin Williams, George Carlin, and Richard Pryor quad cut auto. So if you're a fan of comedy, I think
really
that's
cool
like
one.
a grail there, right?
I like it.
Yeah, I like that they're bringing that again. Like last year, I think the big quad cut was the Beatles one. That was a really got hit. What, like literally that morning that the product got released, the Beatles quad cut went out there. We talked about it last year. Do you want to, if you've got that checklist up, I've got it up here of like what's the cut auto where you go, well, it's a cut. That's about as much as I could say about it. Which last year I got a lot of crap for defending Leonard Nimoy's cut auto.
Oh, dude.
He's not in here, so you can't dunk on Leonard anymore.
Who's your pick?
Leave Leonard alone.
Star Trek, dude.
I mean, there's all the baseball. If we're going non-baseball, I'm looking. It's hard to. Oh, Gandhi is in here. I don't know if I've seen a Gandhi. That was a big one. They were pushing this year. There's a Mohandas Gandhi auto, which I don't know if I've ever seen.
No, I don't think so either.
That'd be really big. That might be one of the biggest history one this year, just because we've never seen it. But yeah, there's a lot of presidents here that you might throw in because we always see a president. I mean, I'll throw Millard Fillmore. I know he's a president, but like he's Millard Fillmore. Like, come on,
He's president.
He ain't Abe Lincoln. You know, he ain't George Washington.
Who?
He's Millard Fillmore.
Jimmy Carter in there again?
Jimmy Carter actually doesn't have.
Wow,
one.
he signed 1 million autographs.
He did, and but yeah, that might be it. I'm trying to look at some of the other like celebrities that might be on the but it's actually pretty good. They pick so you got Harry Houdini in there. You've got David Bowie, John Lennon. You mentioned who else is in there? Kobe has a cut auto once again. I think he had it before. Mentioned Gandhi already. Yeah, it's
Kobe. I get it.
Solid.
Tony Gwynn, I think, is in there too.
Yeah.
I get it on the Kobe autos, but Kobe signed so much with Panini for like 10, 12 years. Do you really want there's no shortage out there is what I'm saying.
I hope it's not a cut from a card.
I had to put
Right.
I had to put Robert Oppenheimer on there. I don't know if we've ever seen a Robert Oppenheimer. Of course, after the movie, a couple of years ago, feels like there's a renewed interest in the man behind the nuclear bomb. So very interesting that he's in there. Yeah, there's not a lot here that stand out as like, oh, that's just a stinker. Like they feel like they've done a pretty good job. So.
Yeah, it should be a fun set. I mean, there's a Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, Sadahara Oak triple cut.
That's really cool.
That's cool.
And we've I feel like Topps has really not said too much about that, but they kind of I can't remember what product where they threw in one of his autos and it got pulled, and then they're like, oh yeah, we're going to have a lot more Sadahara.
That's another thing
Oak.
I'm assuming. Are these oversized?
I think only the
would
quads are. I think the other ones are regular cards.
Okay.
But
yeah, they are.
But we're also not.
That,
We're also not guaranteed one of those in every box.
No.
Nope.
So not guaranteed a Transcendent VIP pass. Like
No,
party pass.
there appears to be 110.
110.
So.
There's two different tiers: gold tier, which I think has 100, and Transcendent tier, which is 10. I'm assuming if you. And how many auto? Again, you said like there's boxes that will have 7 to 8 autos.
There are some boxes. This is again according to the checklist on Beckett, the breakdown on Beckett. There could be boxes with as few as 7 autos in this.
Okay, and generally 10 autos.
Let me see what the actual.
I'm assuming if you get a
is.
7 auto, that means you're probably getting an invite, right?
What to expect in a hobby box?
I would assume
2 auto patch cards, 2 auto relics, 1 rookie auto or auto patch, 2 additional autographs, 1 jumbo dual or triple patch, and 1 additional autograph or memorabilia card.
Okay,
so
I had like 9.
Yeah. And it could be, if you get, instead of the additional auto, you get the memorabilia 10. Instead of a, So, about 9.
And through the years they're back. Usually they only focus on like a couple guys, but they have it seems to be the entire rookie class here. So it looks like 1957 design, 1969, 2013, 2015, and it says 93 draft picks. Colt Keith, Evan Carter, Ellie De La Cruz, Junior Caminero, Jackson Churio, Jason Dominguez, Jackson Holiday, Jung-Ho Lee, Jordan Lawler, Jackson Merrill, Noelvi Marte, Pete Crow Armstrong, Paul Skeens, of course, Wyatt Langford, and Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I think the biggest news for me Barry Bonds is in the sets as an autograph.
He is in there. Oh, wow. I did not
Barry
catch his name.
Bonds.
The only auto you need.
And there we go.
And he's in the base set. He's also in the 1960 Topps Superfractor autograph. He has one for the Giants and the Pirates.
So, yeah, there's 2 one-of-ones.
I don't know why you'd put him on the Pirates.
2
but
one-of-ones with him, 1 Pirates, 1 Giants, and then that number 25, or 25 of the Transcendent Collection. The first product. I mean, we kind of knew that, right? They announced that he's going to be. Actually, did they announce he's going to be?
They didn't announce he was going to be in Transcendent, but they did say that they're going to have him in upcoming products.
Right.
So,
Right.
I think they can do a standalone Barry Bonds product if they needed to. I'd be okay with it.
We kind of touched
like
on
if they
that.
like a Mercury Bonds edition.
I mean, you're talking to the key demo right now with the 3 of us.
well, what if he is the party guest?
That wouldn't shock
We all have everybody has to go,
That
right?
would not shock me.
What do you?
That would be quite a way to be like, here we go. We're
You
gonna
ask him
bring
for a
out.
hug. You're just like you're all.
So,
go to shake his hand. You're like, how about a hug?
Now knowing he's in here, minor gripe. That auto, that cut triple, Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, Sadaharu O. Why not throw Barry on there? Make it a quad. You have the guy who said it, the guy who broke the record.
They don't want to.
They don't want to invite that.
They don't want.
Barry, Babe, and Hank. That's it.
I mean, again, if you wanted to, like, it would be cool to even have Sadaharu O if you want to have it on there.
They got Willie Mays cut autos.
There are Willie Mays cutouts. Okay. There's the traditional Willie Mays. There's also a 70th anniversary cut signature Willie Mays. There's also so I think there's 2 or 3 Willie Mays.
To answer your question, if Barry Bonds is the Transcendent, I would be staring at him with my mouth open like I was a 12-year-old girl looking at Benson Boone. Basically, that's. What
I don't even know. Who. Benson Boone?
Benson Boone.
I'm saying, it just turn into Chris Farley from that sketch you do. Like, remember when you hit 756 home runs? And
that was awesome.
That was awesome. Remember when you hit that home run and Tim Salmon said that was the longest I've seen a ball ever hit?
It's awesome.
Awesome, man.
Remember that Eric Gagne battle?
That would just be me.
It's awesome.
I couldn't be able to help myself.
Did you know that Eric Gagne was like? And speaking of that, going a little bit off topic, but I guess he had an agreement that if they ever face each other, and the Dodgers had like a 3-run or 2-run lead, that he was just going to throw fastballs.
Yep, that's why that at bat happened. They basically were like, we're just going to go mano-a-mano right there.
Just fastballs versus power. That's so awesome.
And it was a game in like, it was 2003, right? But it was like a game that ultimately didn't mean much. Because the Giants had a pretty sizable lead in the division, if I recall, but we all remember that at bat to this day.
And then Eric Gagne was at his ceremony.
Oh yeah,
so
they became
friends.
I went to that game, and he was there.
That says everything right there. One last, if I said the cut auto checklist is pretty good, and I don't really have many gripes. I didn't see the duel with Carrie Fisher and Kenny Baker, the man who played R2-D2. That might be in your Leonard Nimoy. Why do I care?
Like R2-D2, like the little.
Like he was in the R2-D2 suit. So there's a dual.
R2-D2 is like the cylinder looking thing, right?
Right. C-3PO and R2-D2, little guy.
Gold one.
You got C-3PO gold. Little robot, blue and white.
Doesn't speak, just beeps
and boops. But
there's somebody in there?
Kenny Baker, the actor, was in there. Playing, helping move it around. That's how.
I thought it was just
like a
robot. No, I thought they just had a remote control. They were just like
because there's sometimes you kind of waddle around. You had to move. So
I mean, I do think that they made the quad Yankee.
But nobody knows who that person is.
That's what I'm saying. See, Star Wars fans know who that is, and they're like, "That's cool."
I'm wearing the shirt today. I should know. But the Yankee cut auto, I think, is they may have done this one already, but like I know in the past they've had some and they haven't been as good. This one's Gehrig, Mantle, Berra, and Ruth.
That's about as good as it gets.
That's about as good as you can get it. That's pretty awesome.
It was Berra, Mantle, Gehrig, Ruth.
Thurman Munson.
You could make
Berra won like 10
DiMaggio
titles.
is another one you could say.
But
who are you taking out?
Berra probably has to go up, but he also won 10 championships with them, so it's like kind of tough.
You can't take Yogi.
You don't see a ton of Thurman Munson cut autos.
There aren't a lot. Well, I don't think there's probably not that many that exist, frankly. The only one, and again, people are going to call me no fun for this. The fun face. Did you see that? The Jackson Holiday. Remember they had there's a fun face with the bat knob that he used in the photo.
But it says fun face.
It says fun face.
Yeah. That's not what it originally said.
No, it didn't. It said something very different. And I get it. Look, I'm all for the marketing and all. We've talked about that. They do a great job. This fun face one to me felt the most forced.
Yes.
It felt like you're trying to make this happen and it's just not happening. Like the fun of that original Billy Ripken card was completely on accident. It was completely, and it's fun to recreate it maybe for one little SP, but like I feel like they've gone back to that well a bit too much.
It's Billy Ripken. That's what makes it cool is the fact that like Billy Ripken, utility player. Obviously his brother, an amazing player, but it made his card iconic and collectible. Where
Jackson's was always going to be.
You probably wouldn't collect Billy Ripken.
No, absolutely not. So it's fine, I guess. Like it'll still be.
And why is Jackson Holiday? We've had Adley Rushman, we've had Gunnar. I mean, like,
Jackson's the one who's been anointed as like this is the guy.
He's Billy Ripken then.
Oh boy, for the Orioles' sake, they sure hope not. Oh boy, yeah, that wouldn't be good.
Do you actually? I actually just looked this up. Like, obviously, Cal Ripken Jr. Played more consecutive games than anybody else. Do you have an idea of what that number is?
2,800 something, right? Or 2,900?
Because I was actually sitting there thinking about it, and I know he played a lot. And there's a lot of games in a baseball season. So I remember
the scoreboard in his picture, but I felt like it was like 2,900.
I think if you were to ask people before, like a few years,
I honestly think that if you were to ask people, they'd be like 8,000.
Oh yeah, I could not.
2,632.
Yeah. I knew it was in the 2,000 range, but I think that we're now over almost 30 years since that record was broken, and the Gehrig one was held for so long and felt like this huge elusive number that a few players were getting close to every time, like every once in a while in their career. Whereas, like, I think we can all pretty much say with 100% confidence that record. Cal Ripken's record is never going to be broken.
Yeah,
so it's almost inconsequential.
And then you couple the Gehrig thing with like literally he stopped playing, he died. Like rest in peace to Gehrig. But it was like he played all those consecutive games, and then it was like that was his life.
I think in 1990, if you ask people what is Lou Gehrig's consecutive games streak, they could all like a diehard baseball fan could tell you easily.
Yeah.
I think because it seems so in another universe, the Cal Ripken, especially with the way baseball's played today, I don't.
Well, you look at it and you get kind of blown away when a guy has played 162 games. Like, you played the whole season.
Oh, it's impressive.
It's like, wow, that's unreal.
It should actually look this up. What is the current?
But does that mean when Cal Ripken Jr. does that mean he started every game? I'm not.
It means that he played.
He definitely didn't play all 9 innings of every single one of those games.
You have to start. You have to
be in the starting lineup,
and you have to play at least what would be considered a full game, which I think is 5 full innings.
Okay. So he wasn't like coming in for a pinch hit at bat. No. Okay.
26-32, and I cannot even find who the active leader is, because there's no way anyone is even close. Altuve kind of was there for a while, but I think he got hurt.
And we're close to the red zone. Let's go, Fighting Irish. Let's go.
Oh, dude,
let's go. Well, we got that's right. The game's on right now.
I didn't put my bet in because I know
we're
better.
Talking. Yeah, after the way that Texas game ended, that Ohio State Texas, I lost some interest. I'm like a low key Texas fan. So
my great grandmother was a janitor at Notre Dame. So
wow.
I'm not a big college guy, but I do. I remember as a kid having an Irish hoodie and an Irish little figure, little guy, So
look, the Fighting Irish, Notre Dame, a team that I feel like historically people just do not like, because they felt like this, what they used to be, where now I feel like they're the way more likable team in comparison to Ohio State. So,
Ohio State's dominating for so many years.
Before we move to football, real quick we're kind of on the baseball kick right now. Roki Sasaki Dodgers happened over the weekend,
and Tanner Scott.
Yeah,
Tanner Scott.
No. But Roki will be I don't know. I will be curious what baseball collectors. I know we just had a year with a rookie pitcher who became the number one guy. Can that happen 2 years in a row? And he's going to have first Bowmans too. So,
But he probably won't be in Top Series 1, which maybe next week we break down Top Series 1. I don't even know who's on the checklist for rookies. I don't know who they're going to hang their hat on for that.
it's Dylan Cruz is going to be the number one guy, I'd imagine, that they're going to go hard on. But it could be another Skeen situation where Roki maybe performs really well and then he pops up in Series 2, and that's all we want. So it would be quite a change. And
Has there been a franchise? I mean, I'm obviously not a Dodger fan, but I'm like, has there been a franchise in the last, who knows, the last 2 year stretch for the Dodgers? They have basically told their fan base that we really care about winning. We're going to do whatever we got to do. It's almost to the point where I'm like, what's the point? What's the point of even watching?
It doesn't matter. We got Verlander.
We do. We have
Verlander.
We got Verlander. I mean, look, the Dodgers
and Willie Adames.
They're not going to win every game.
No,
they're not going to win every game. They're going to win most of them.
Yeah, they will. They absolutely will.
But they're not going to win all of them.
It does suck how I have to reframe my expectations, because it's like I legitimately am excited to see if Justin Verlander still got something left in the tank. I am, but it's tough when the Dodgers just signed Blake Snell and then just went, oh, by the way, we just got the best pitcher from Japan since Shohei Ohtani.
Their starting five is pretty gnarly.
Yeah. They've got starting six right now.
And then their lineup is like an all-star lineup.
I was going to say, they could be the whole all-star team. It would be like the Dodgers. But, casual Giants fans are really excited for Kate Upton comes down, too.
That you've got Kate Upton as well. Well, you've got that to look
for.
Could
the Giants, can we make a move for Polar Bear Pete?
No one else is. Nobody's budging. You could say his market has frozen over. Like a polar bear. That's not good.
No pun intended.
Yeah, and so it's something to keep an eye on. That would be really an interesting change of event. It would be very, very interesting if Roki becomes Skeen's level. Pete Alonso
going to the Dodgers.
Probably at this point. If you say, is that guy who hit 55 home runs and is a star player, they go to the Dodgers?
I mean, why
wouldn't you want to go to the Dodgers?
I think it's at the point now where you're just if you're a baseball player, you're just well, I may take a little bit of a diminished role, but
yes,
this is what they're gonna pay me, and
maybe Pete Alonso goes there.
Yeah,
why not? Sure, be the DH.
Yeah. So Topps Chrome Football announced. I wanted to talk about this before we talk about Jayden. Do we have a release date on this? So this is going to come out prior to the NFLPA agreement, I'm assuming.
Yes.
So what's exciting is, the autographs we don't have with Panini, like Jayden Daniels, which is a great time for it. Drake May. Who else? Not J.J. McCarthy. Caleb Williams. Mm-hmm. So it's probably going to be
who's on the cover
boy.
Yep. So Caleb Williams, Jayden Daniels, Drake May, and they're going to have 4 to 5 rookies, right? I think they can have a max of 5. So who else is there? There's going to be Bo Nix.
Caleb, Jayden, Drake May.
And maybe one more.
And who are we missing?
No Marvin Harrison, right?
They came to terms on that agreement, right? I'm sorry. I feel like we are missing one QB that I feel like I'm going to go nuts, but maybe we're not. It might be Marvin Harrison.
Not Penix.
You can't have
because
Penix. I don't know if these are exclusives, but
Penix and McCarthy are Panini, right? And and then everybody else is.
Yeah, but Richardson was in both last year. He was in Panini and Topps.
I can tell you this: we don't have to think about this
because the checklist
is out.
Oh, they're this manufacturer. They're going out there. They're doing some big things.
We've got Frozen Fractors, by the way. We've got your Youth Quakes, your Future Stars, 74. Let's see what else we.
When does this come out?
This is out. I don't know. So this says, the pre-orders January 21st. I don't see an official date. I think I saw rumors of March.
That's what I was seeing. And the checklist is out.
And the checklist is out.
What are we doing?
Yeah, could be wrong on that one, but I felt like I saw some rumors about that. So looking it up, you've got the Helix insert in there with guys like Tom Brady is in there. Some of the bigger rookies as well, including Marvin Harrison Jr., Drake May, Jayden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Malik Neighbors.
Oh, how are they able to get more than 5?
This may not be autos, though. That might just be your standard.
Doesn't
Here you go.
matter.
Rookie auto. Let's see. The rookie auto variation is what I'm finding right now, and there are a lot. So I don't know if that rule applies to this.
Yeah, because there's Brock Bowers, there's Blake Corum.
Everybody's in here.
Lad McConkey.
Brock Bowers. Yep. Every Bo Nix. Brock Bowers. The Caleb Williams is there. Obviously, you got Drake May. Yeah, everybody is here. Like this is there's nobody
playing
really
with some fire
missing
here
from this one.
But yeah, a lot of vets too. I can see Vernon Davis, Steve Young, Sterling Sharp, Richard Sherman. It's going to be vet heavy,
and a lot of Brady as well, obviously. And you've got or at least a few chances at Brady to give some incentive there too.
Oh, there's 96 cards on the rookie autograph checklist.
A lot. That is a lot.
How are they able? Unless they were granted the NFLPA license, but they don't have the NFL license yet. I guess would be the because if you look at composite and you look at last year's products, from what I understand from talking to guys in the industry, if you don't have the PA license, you can have up to 4 to 5 active players, meaning Patrick Mahomes active player, any of these guys that are active
But
players.
everybody else has to be retired.
Everybody else has to be retired, and you work individual deals. There's 96 guys on this checklist, so that must not apply anymore.
I was going to say that must be the PA deal. I know we have had episodes where we went into this, but there's got to be little.
I feel like we've had 12
I
episodes
know.
about this,
and yet every time I still am like confused about when does this start, when does that start, when does that end.
I have no idea.
Clearly, this is the beginning of the PA deal where there are no
Beginning of
restrictions.
something really big, Cody.
It's beginning to look a lot like Top Scrum football.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everywhere we go.
Clearly, this means PA deal is full steam ahead. Use all the guys.
It just does. Yeah, you're just not going to have.
You're not going to get the
license.
You're not going to get the Panini exclusive guys.
That's true. Other than Penix and McCarthy, which Penix showed there was some interesting moments with Penix at the end of the year, but not
McCarthy, you don't know.
And we have no idea with McCarthy.
We know. We know they're a pretty good team.
Although we're going to have a lot. McCarthy to me is going to be the guy where there's going to be a lot of speculative buying on him this offseason.
They won 14 games. Why,
they won 14 games,
and he has Jefferson and Addison throwing the ball, and Hawkinson.
And Sam Darnold certainly did not get himself a new contract, so
he got himself probably a contract somewhere.
Do you think that this product has, because we talked about Topps basketball being like kind of some failure to launch, like some products have done well, some have not done as hot. I think this doesn't have quite the same problems just because
it doesn't.
Of all of those QBs. That to me is enough.
The hype is real. I mean, this is I mean, we've got a guy going to the NFC Championship game next week, and Jayden Daniels, which we're about to talk about, but like the demand for his autos, which he hasn't had any, is huge. So this is going to be probably one of his most, if not his most valuable card out there for autographs. So he's also in the rookie checklist as well, so you can get base and parallels, superfractors, non-autos of him. Yes, there won't be any Commander's licensing on there, but yeah, I think this product will do really well. They're probably going to print a lot of it, but Tom Brady autos, Jayden Daniels, it's going to satisfy football collectors' needs very much so. But let's before we end it off, let's talk about Jayden Daniels' game and what does this mean for his market. I mean, he's absolutely looked like Joe Cool back there in this Detroit, crazy Detroit environment. Just played it, perfect, and just never was really behind. Just out there controlling the game. He hasn't as much as of a runner as he was at the beginning of the season. He's definitely more of a passer now. The guy's a stud, and like you wrote here on the notes, highest drafted rookie to ever make it into the conference title game in his first year.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me.
He's good. He's I mean, you look at their team offensively, and they're not a powerhouse by any means. Terry McLaurin's good. I mean, I would say Terry McLaurin, you can make an argument, top 15 receiver in the league. Zach Ertz. I mean, Zach Ertz's best years he's probably already had them when he was with Philadelphia and he was with Arizona for a while. But I mean, what he's doing, is it De'Ami Brown He's like making him look
Right.
like he's an all-pro.
Yeah, he's
Right.
putting the ball.
I mean, they have Brian Robinson, who's a good running back. I mean, they have some good pieces, but
Eckler, a little aging, but
imagine like what they're going to be able to build around him. Like even their defense, they have a lot of good pieces, but they have like an aging defense for the most part. Like their main guy running that defense is Bobby Wagner.
Yeah.
Bobby Wagner is a good football player, but he's on definitely the back nine of his career. So they are a good young team, and they're going to get even better with the draft and free agency. And they're going to be one of those teams for the next 5 years that we're going to be talking about having deep playoff runs.
now he was the lowest draft pick. Do you know there was another guy that was drafted in the first round that in his rookie season did go to the title game? Do you know who that is?
I believe he's mentioned.
Was he starting?
Yeah.
Is Mark Sanchez?
Nope.
Not Flacco. No, Flacco.
It is.
Second,
Yep.
it is?
Yep. Joe
I think he was a
Flacco.
second rounder, wasn't he? Second? No,
No,
it was
first
it was
round
end of the
pick.
sec- You're right.
Pick 18.
That's right. It
Yep.
was late in the first. Yeah. Joe Flacco. Yeah. I saw that. I think it's that stat I put in that he's now one of 3 rookie QBs to win his first 2 road playoff games. It's Flacco and Mark Sanchez are the other guys.
Not great company to be in, I guess.
I mean,
but-
one guy won a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I
I
will
mean,
say that.
I'm not gonna say Mark
No.
I'm not gonna say Joe Flacco is a Hall of Famer
Mark Sanchez, though, back-to-back AFC title games. Start his career
with the Jets.
with the Jets.
Yeah, with Ryan, right?
Yeah, with Rex Ryan and the Jets, who might be coming back. Rex Ryan.
Doesn't Rex Ryan have a number 6 tattoo on his body somewhere?
He is an
It's like a
dude.
tattoo of his wife wearing a number 6 jersey, which was Mark Sanchez's number.
That's a little strange.
Yeah, it might have been after those 2 AFC Championship
Hey,
games.
look, he's like, yeah, I get it. I'm hitching that wagon to this guy, and then didn't really work out. But feel like that will be different for Jayden Daniels to like pick apart. I know Detroit's defense has got considerable injuries, but like they were performing. There were games at the end of the year where they still looked as formidable as any team. Hell, they looked that formidable against Minnesota, which maybe you take that with a grain of salt, the way that the Vikings offense was performing the last few weeks.
I really don't think the Detroit defense lost that game.
No,
I think it was.
It was a lot of turnover.
I think Jared Goff doing Jared Goff
That's the number one
things
thing. Yeah.
when it counts. I mean, Jared Goff had a good year. Jared Goff is a good quarterback. There is something about when the lights get real bright for Jared Goff. He makes bad decisions.
How many runs did they have? I mean, they were talking about, this is Montgomery's he's back, and you got Sonic and Tails back there. I figured there would be a lot more runs since they were at full strength at the running game, but it seemed like it was more Jared Goff throwing the ball.
Jameson Williams throwing that throw. I think that was the end of the game.
Yeah.
That was the dagger.
when that trick play and he threw it into not 1, not 2, and not 3, but 4 guys covering a receiver. And he just threw a duck up there to get intercepted. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
like
that kind of felt like
this is it. That and right before half, Jared Goff threw an interception in the end zone, which was a bad throw.
Yeah.
I
Pick
think
six, too,
right at the second half, or right before the second half was ending, there was a big pick as well.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Right, that's the one.
They were driving. I think they were at like maybe the 25.
And you felt like if they can get that, it's like, well, hey, they're going to go into halftime. They're not getting the ball, but it's going to be a 3-point game. Like, that would
be
all right.
That would have changed it.
What
But
were they down 11 going in half?
They end up being down 10 going into half and just can never quite catch up.
because as soon as Washington picked that off, they just basically kneeled, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. They kneeled down, but Detroit gets a touchdown there, and they go in down 3. I think the whole complexion of the game. I don't think they panic and start doing a bunch of trick plays and getting weird.
Yeah. So, Daniels, if you have a valuable Kaboom or you have a gold prism, are you selling right now, or are you waiting it out? I mean, assuming that, Eagles are big favorites, I think the consensus, if we polled everybody, would be that the Eagles are going to win this game. I still think I probably would bet on the Commanders just because I'm crazy like that, but just because he's kind of the unknown. We haven't seen him in these big games yet, and he showed his coolness in this game. But what are you doing if you own one of his cards? Or if you don't, are you buying them right now?
Oh, man. I think you'd have to, if you're selling, you'd have to sell before the game on Sunday.
Yep.
Right.
If you do not, and honestly, like if you're selling on eBay, somebody's not going to pay. They're going to wait for the game to happen. Then they're just going to cancel if the Commanders lose. So you're kind of SOL there. I think you hold. I think he's somebody. I think what you're doing right now is you're trying to acquire, and then you're holding for next season,
the off season, right? With all the hype and
yeah,
whoever they get.
But acquire whatever you can acquire, because I think at the end of the day, he is going to be a top tier quarterback in the league.
For our listeners, I'm putting it up for you guys to see. Just a quick look at some via Card Ladder. Since Sunday's game, some of the highest price sells for Jayden Daniels. There's a gold shimmer from FOTL Prism that sold for $8,100. Kabooms, those have been selling. That's been one of the hotter sellers is the Kabooms. We're looking at one at $7,259, one that maybe sold right before the game at $5,800.
Geez, a Leaf Metal 101,
Yep.
$5,500 in their right mind.
That's a best offer, so who knows? Because I think we talked before, there was some reports of a Prism base raw, or like PSA 10, I should say, sold for like $2,500. Apparently that was not.
Well, if you have those, okay, let me rephrase that. If you have one of those Leafs, sell those now.
Sell that now.
Because with the Topps Chrome stuff coming out.
But even like we're looking here on eBay, that's an auction on January 18th of a Topps Now, number to 199. It's PSA 10, it's an auto, but that's unlicensed, and it sold for $4,651. So it's one of those where I would not fault you for selling this stuff right now. I as much as he's got such a bright future, it's going to be one of the destination teams. I don't know what their cap situation is. I imagine you have a rookie QB, and you're not paying that rookie QB, so you should have some money to go out and spend and supplement that roster, put some great guys around him. So I'm still very, very high on his future, but also, at those prices,
I would love to see what Vegas had at the beginning of the year of the over-under how many wins the Commanders would have.
Oh, gotta be.
Probably 5 or 6.
5, 4.
Yeah.
Like, really? What were they last year? 5. I think they were a 5-win team.
Well, they had a pretty high pick in the draft.
Yeah, well, high enough that they could draft the Heisman Trophy winner right now. Incredibly impressive what he's done.
Was he number 2? Because Caleb was number 1.
Yeah, he was number 2.
Who was number 3?
That would have been Drake May.
Drake May.
Drake May was number 3.
So it's fine. Me and Dan are in this. There's 8 people, and you each draft a NFL team to win the Super Bowl at the beginning of the year.
Oh.
So, you start to pick one.
Yeah, we came up with this, 15 years ago at band practice.
So basically, out of 8 people, you all have 4 teams. So I remember I had the 8th pick, so I wound up getting the freaking Cowboys of all teams on the way there. So 3rd pick I had, so mind you, that's like 20-something teams gone. I picked the Commanders. So I'm still alive.
Still alive.
Because I have the Commanders.
I had the Bucks and the Rams, right?
You have the Eagles, though.
I had the Eagles?
Hey!
So between me and you, one of us is going to the Super Bowl.
Dude, I got the Eagles. I've actually won that before.
You have Eagles, Rams, Colts, and Titans. So. First pick was the Niners. 2nd pick Chiefs.
I have Eagles, Rams. So I was going on.
Yeah,
I was going on this week.
Yeah, I had the Texans and the Commanders were my last hope at that. So because obviously the Cowboys didn't work out. The person in front of me picked the Lions, which that wouldn't have worked out for me either. But the person in front of me has the Lions and Bills.
Whew.
So
wow.
I guess I did pick the Cowboys instead of the Bills, which I don't know why I did that, but I did do that. So, but I have the Commanders.
Interesting. Yeah.
But yeah, guys, if you want to get into some breaks and any of the pre-sales, definitely head on over to Mojobreak.com. Use that code BREAK10, 10% off any order on Mojobreak.com, and I think there's only a limit of like 50 of those being used. So I would definitely get in on that and join us next week on The Hype. Peace.